Well, Pakistan losing at home obviously is something that's not really expected. If you take a look at the number of matches that they have played in the last few years or so, more often than not, they have really come out on top. But then in the Tri Series final, which is obviously the dress rehearsal for the Champions Trophy, they have been crushed by New Zealand once again. They have lost the Tri Series final. And what can be said, obviously their preparations for the Champions Trophy have really taken a hit. Some of the senior players haven't really stepped up when it has really mattered the most. And if we take a look at their bowling attack also, well, it has lacked some steam. And that was enough for New Zealand to cash in upon. And that's why they are the well and truly deserved winners of the Tri Series that also featured South Africa.
I think New Zealand again. Whenever we try to underestimate the New Zealand side, they come up and do something that sort of they do get in the headlines just before an ICC event. None of us have actually kept New Zealand from this group to qualify for the semi-final, but just a few days before the first game, and this is the same game that's going to take place on the 19th of February. That's going to be the opener of the Champions Trophy as well. So just before that, New Zealand again has told us in very clear words that if anyone is again sort of undermining the New Zealand team, that should not be the case, because that's exactly what they have done. But I think as far as the game is concerned, the runs were definitely less as far as Pakistan was concerned. They weren't able to put big runs on the board, especially in these conditions where there was no help for the bowlers at all. And this total, 240, 250 type of a total is the typical total the New Zealand side likes to chase. Is the kind of total they want to chase, and sort of is the total with which they can stay in their shell. Pakistan bowlers did try to pull things back, at least as far as the beginning of the first 10 overs of the game were concerned. But after that, I think because the total was so small, and when the total is so small and you are sort of the runs are not too much, one partnership completely takes the game away, and that's exactly what happened in this game as well.
I think, yeah, if we take a look at, the whole Tri Series for that matter, if we take a look at the Tri Series opener, that was once again the game when New Zealand, they did really well by batting first, won that game by 78 runs, and so was the case against South Africa. They chased a total in excess of 300, and what they have basically shown is that despite not really having the likes of the experienced campaigners in Tim Southee, Trent Bolt, and even missing someone like a Rachin Ravindra, who has been one of their superstars across formats, specifically in the Test and ODI format, I think New Zealand have shown that they have the depth to basically go into the tournament like a Champions Trophy with a lot of confidence. We take a look at Pakistan here. Well, obviously, ahead of the Champions Trophy, they did have a good start under the leadership of Mohammad Rizwan. They defeated Australia in Australia. Same was the case with South Africa. In South Africa, even they blanked them there 3-0. But now things haven't gone well in the Tri Series. You can probably look at it from a perspective that Pakistan were trying things so that, they come ready for the Champions Trophy. But then I don't personally think that Pakistan have the resources as far as their middle order goes. I think that is actually their weak link. You cannot always rely on the likes of Salman Ali Agha and Mohammad Rizwan to bail you out of those tough situations and get two totals in excess of 300 or 350. Babar Azam is also not firing, and that's also one of the biggest concerns. He shifted to a new batting position, which isn't really working for him. There are even calls to remove him from that position and have him back at number 3 for the Champions Trophy. So obviously, plenty of things to ponder for Pakistan, knowing that their Champions Trophy opener against New Zealand isn't really just far away. It's just on 19th of February, just a few days from now. So overall, it's New Zealand who are really ticking most of the boxes, be it their batting. Devon Conway has come in, cashed in upon the opportunity. The middle order is doing really well. Kane Williamson is also struck form after returning to the ODI format, and even their inexperienced bowling lineup in Nathan Smith, Jacob Duffy, Willow Rook, they have done well. Santner has once again shown the kind of a quality bowler he is in the ODI format, and obviously so is the case with another all-rounder, Michael Bracewell. But if we talk about Pakistan, they have Rizwan, they have Salman Ali Agha. Fakhar Zaman has been inconsistent throughout his ODI career. Babar Azam is turning out to be inconsistent now, but as far as their bowling is concerned, it is lacking a lot of steam.
I kind of disagree a little bit over here. I think as far as the bowling is concerned, I think they're doing a good enough job. Keeping in mind that they have just one spinner. Apart from that, they have Salman Ali Agha, who also chips in with the ball more often than not, bowls majority of his overs. Fast bowlers are Shaheen Afridi hasn't been in the best of his form, but again on a given day, and at least it's not like he's below par. I think he's bowling okay as far as his standards are concerned, not up to the mark, but I think overall he's not bowling too bad. Naseem Shah looks really good. So I think bowling isn't the actual issue. The main issue I think comes down again to the two batters, Babar Azam and South Shakil, who really need to fire. With Fakhar Zaman, we know that he's an impact player on a given day. More often than not, he might not chip in with the run so that the team goes on a big total. But on his day, he can definitely run away with the game all alone. Maybe on that day, the team would not be needing other batters to score. So that's the impact he gets, and I think that's the reason why the Pakistan team will persist with him as well. But apart from that, Babar Azam and Saud Shakil, both these people will have to actually stand up and actually score those runs, because, like you also mentioned, Mohammad Rizwan and Salman Ali Agha cannot always be scoring those runs.
Correct.
You have Tayyab Tahir as well, who can chip in with the bat, but again you cannot be expecting him to take you over the line in each and every game. But talking about Mohammad Rizwan
Yeah.
as well, I feel that he's also, if it's about putting the runs on the board, I think he sort of does lag. He does not know how to go about his business if the team is batting first. But in a chase, I think he calculates the game really well. And depending on that, and whenever they will bat first, I think the strike rate of Mohammad Rizwan will always be questioned again and again. But I still
Yeah.
feel that I would still, despite this loss, I would keep Pakistan in my top four teams, because I know that it's just the two batters. If they stand up on a given day, then I think they're bowling more often than not. They can definitely pull things back. 240 also we saw. To begin with, all of us were definitely giving Pakistan a
Yep,
chance. So
yep.
I know even if they go and end up getting 270, 280 in these Pakistani conditions, where you know that these are really batting friendly, spinners aren't getting too much help in these conditions also. You know that anything, if they reach 270, 280, they can still manage to defend that. So that's a very big reason I would still keep them. Abrar Ahmed, again,
Yeah.
he's not looked too great all throughout, be it Test cricket, be it the ODIs and the white ball. I think Pakistan conditions aren't the best kind of conditions for him, because he's more of a one-dimensional bowler. He's straight on. He darts it in. So because of that reason, and plus there is no help on the wicket, so it just comes even more quicker, and it actually helps the batter in playing him. He needs conditions which are little more conducive to spinners. Maybe when he comes to Dubai, he could be a little effective in those conditions, but in Pakistan, he does not look absolutely. He doesn't look too good.
Okay, just a couple of quick questions before we take a few comments here. So, what do you think? What really is Babar Azam's best batting position? What it could really be for the Champions Trophy? Personally, I feel him opening is still good, while some of the experts feel that he should drop down once again back to his number 3 position. But him opening, I think it does give Pakistan an added advantage, because knowing that if you open maybe with someone like a youngster or anyone else from the squad alongside Fakhar Zaman, I think it's going to put more pressure on Fakhar here. On the other hand, if there is the combination of Fakhar Zaman and Babar Azam, I think it might just bode well for Pakistan. So for me, Babar Azam opens for you.
No. I personally feel. See, again, I know that. See, there's a reason why Babar Azam is opening, and the reason for that is that the Pakistan team does not have any other opener, because Saim Ayub and Fakhar were supposed to open, but now they have Usman Khan and they have Babar Azam. So in the best likelihood, I think this is the best way the team composition sits, and I think it's absolutely fine. But the problem over here is that it's not the best position for a Babar Azam, and a Babar Azam can win you games on occasion. He can be that person who actually takes the batting lineup on his shoulders all throughout the tournament. So that we saw it with Steve Smith as well.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
for the team composition, Steve Smith did move up. That was for the team, but at the end of the day, what position actually helps him is number 4. So the Australian team also realized there that that we are just weakening our chances more just to compensate the team composition. So they did realize, got Smith back to his number, not thinking too much about who's going to open or who's not, because the most maximum impact is going to come from a Steve Smith in
Correct.
Australia. So
Correct.
even as far as Pakistan is concerned, I think they should get a Babar Azam at number 3 and open with Usman Khan. In that case, then you'll have Tayyab Tahir, who's in the middle order,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
out of the 11, and I think that could be a good situation. I know not the best opening pair for Pakistan, wouldn't be one of
The
the
best
best
possible
pair.
from the contenders
Yeah.
they have.
But
Yeah.
as far as their Babar Azam is concerned, then I think it's going to be more comfortable, and then he will be more comfortable and can score runs from there. And I think this could be a thing that Pakistan might end up doing.
Yeah, one more question that we talk about Mohammad Rizwan. Obviously, he is the keeper, also captain of the side, and he's currently batting at number 4. Now, assuming there are for the pitches for Pakistan, the pitches for Champions Trophy, maybe they assist bowlers a lot more. So, do you see him shifting down the order, knowing that Pakistan have a lot of inexperience in that middle order?
No. Like again, when we were talking about KL Rahul in the dugout as well, I don't feel again. I feel the best batters come on their positions. They don't wait for. There's no point of waiting for things to happen again in white ball cricket. So there is no point of Rizwan coming lower down the order because you're sending even more inexperienced players up the order. When they also come, they also feel that they have much more responsibility on themselves.
Okay, let's just take a couple of questions before we wrap things up. Sachin Kashyap, Pakistan haven't really been great overall. I think bottom finish for them as far as maybe Champions Trophy is concerned. That's what he says. Let's see how things go. Champions Trophy is going to be a different ball game altogether. A new day, new match for Pakistan against New Zealand on 19th Feb. Freaking awesome says 500 plus ODI runs for Daryl Mitchell. I think versus Pakistan in 10 ODIs, which is the most by a New Zealand batter. An excellent stat. Thank you for it. Freaking awesome. Dex says a comment that South Africa versus New Zealand would have been a good final on this pitch, provided South Africa would have been full strength for this tri-series. Because had they had all their players for the tri-series, things would have been completely different. And I think last comment by freaking awesome again. No team has scored 350 plus in Champions Trophy history. Since this edition of CT is going to be held at Pakistan, can we expect 350 plus score for the first time in CT? Well, it can really happen primarily because of the history of pitches that there have been in Pakistan, whether it's Lahore or Karachi. There have been pretty much roads only wherein batters have made merry, but then things are really going to change because this time it's not going to be the relevant stakeholders from the PCB who will make the pitches. It is going to be the ICC, so we can expect a good competition between both bat and ball, and that said, 300 could very well be a match-winning score. And okay, Dex is predicting that group stage exit for Pakistan. Well, yes,
I think it will be very, very clear on the first day of the Champions Trophy itself. I think whoever wins the first game between New Zealand and Pakistan is going to be the second team from India's group to qualify for the semi-final, until and unless India doesn't.
India, don't really perform well. Okay, so that's about it as far as this tri-series final discussion is concerned. So stay tuned to Sports Today as we bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. And don't go anywhere because we'll be back very shortly with the live of the WPL opener between Gujarat Giants and Royal Challengers Bengaluru.